This conference will now be recorded.
Thomas, are you going to stay down here? Megan, you coming over here?
I'm good.
We have a couple.
I got a trash can.
Okay.
I do not see you.
Charlie is not going to. He's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
The chief working at it. Hi, Barb.
Get in.
Can you believe it's June 1 already?
Crazy.
Hard to believe. How many more days, Anita?
It's right.
It's there.
Rand gonna be?
Yep. And then a half.
And then the last, this is the last
Full meeting.
full meeting.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll call the Street Forest Council meeting to order. Barb?
Dear God, Lord of all, we come before you, ask for guidance as our mayor, council, administrators, staff, and determine the course of the future of our city today. Your decision is so important to us all. Please continue to bless them and also our several agencies of first responders, police, fire, sheriff, ambulance, and all those involved in healthcare who we depend on. We also ask you to keep us safe in this time of the pandemic. We pray that the vaccine is being researched and developed by many companies throughout the world. Now we ask your blessing and protection for us and our loved ones. Leave this chamber so we begin with your holy name.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Arlene, roll call, please.
Lehman,
Here.
Oldham, Dawson,
Here.
Nash,
Here.
Lowe. Is Councilman Lowe absent?
Yeah, I don't see him logged on, and he is not physically here.
Okay, thank you. Cross,
Here.
Rowe,
Thank you.
He is absent.
okay, and Page.
Tonight we have two distinguished service awards that Chief Ward is going to present.
Actually, only ended up with one.
Okay.
We were a little busy this afternoon. And usually we come up here and talk a little bit about the person that David Woolery started with our department in May 30th, 1995. He was promoted to sergeant in February of 2007. In February of 2007, he was then promoted to commander, where he's now serving as the detective division commander. After 25 years, he has pretty much served in every aspect of the department, each one of our bureaus. He was also a dare officer, medicine technician, community coordinator, and a cadet advisor, shift supervisor. He's done quite a bit. And
I've worked with David for 25 years. I've always had a good time, so we appreciate his dedication. Law enforcement today, it's hard to find folks that are sticking around this long. So we always appreciate those ones that bring a lot of expertise to all the new folks that we got. We appreciate it. Congratulations. 25 years.
Thank you, Keith. Just keep on going and have another busy day, will you? We have two minutes from council meeting May 18th and May 21st. We need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Finance and Administration Chairwoman Megan Page.
Yes, I have three items on the agenda tonight. The first one is just a little bit of housekeeping every 2 years. The Ethics Commission requires the city to review and readapt policies and procedures dealing with conflicts of interest and disclosure reports. So we are just reviewing this to readapt this section of that ordinance.
Any questions, council? Arlene, read the ordinance, please.
Bill number 2020-95. An ordinance readopting section 2-833 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, which establishes a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain officials.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Bill number 2020-95. An ordinance readopting section 2-833 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, which establishes a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain officials.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Rowe is absent. Page?
Yes.
Lehman?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Dawson?
Yes.
Nash?
Yes.
Lowe is absent. And Cross?
Yes.
6 yes and 2 absent.
My next item has to do with the Buffalo Regional Health Center Board of Trustees. Currently, this board of trustees is an 11-member board. Several members of this board their terms are expiring this month. So, to better facilitate this board and have less conflict from having Buffalo employees on the board, we are recommending taking the board from 11-member board to a 7-member board, and now reappointing or appointing new members into the expired term that are coming this month.
Any questions from the council? Arlene, read the ordinance.
Bill number 2020-96. An ordinance amending Article 6 of Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri by amending Division 7 and Section 2-434 regarding the Hospital Board of Trustees.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 2020-96. An ordinance amending Article 6 of Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri by amending Division 7 and Section 2-434 regarding the Hospital Board of Trustees.
Second. Roll call, please.
Page?
Yes.
Lehman?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Dawson?
Yes.
Nash?
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross?
Yes.
And Rowe is absent. So 6 yes and 2 absent.
My third item has to do with our IT department and the network file storage system. As we know, IT is an ever-changing and ever-evolving department. So what we are doing is we sent out an RFP for proposal for the software and hardware, and then proposal that we are recommending is a total of $83,580, which is below the budgeted amount of $140,000.
I'd like to also tell the council that I did meet with Bonnie in regards to this, and this proposal is probably the best for us at this time. But also like to tell you that somewhere along the line, we're going to have to do a major revision for our system, just because of our size and what we're utilizing the data for as we grow. Storage is always going to be a problem for us. There are different ways to handle that. Some of them are going to involve more servers, and everything else. The servers are where the cost comes into play. But this time, I've had some questions in mind if it was there for me. And this is probably our best way to do it.
As well, Monty is here to answer any questions anybody may have.
Any questions from the council? Arlene, read the ordinance, please.
Bill number 2020-97, an ordinance approving and accepting an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Storage Networks for data storage infrastructure and related services for the City of Sedalia, Missouri.
Second reading.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Bill number 2020-97, an ordinance approving and accepting an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Storage Networks for data storage infrastructure and related services for the City of Sedalia, Missouri.
Final passage.
Roll call, please.
Freeman.
Yes.
Oldham.
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross.
Yes.
Rowe is absent. And Page.
Thank you.
Two absent.
Chairman, Jeff Lehman with Public Works.
Well, it's my turn to have a long one tonight. Here we go.
We can do all this.
Yeah, it's a long one to do, I guess. Okay, the first part we have is has to do with the airport board. Over the past 3 years, the board has been really kind of non-functional at the time. They did switch to a quarterly meeting, and then over the last several quarters, they've had trouble getting a quorum. Just to let you know, this is a divided board of the city. And staff is down when Eric was out there, our local staff, they've actually had contact with the individuals and things that are going on out there that probably got better input than this board would have had altogether. We are recommending that this board now be dismembered, or I don't want to use the word, is abolished. So that's what we're at at this point in time.
Any questions from the council? Read the ordinance, please, Arlene.
Bill number 2020-98, an ordinance amending Article 4 or 6 of Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri by repealing Division 2 and Sections 2-274 through 2-280, abolishing the Airport Board.
Second reading.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Bill number 2020-98, an ordinance amending Article 6 of Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri by repealing Division 2 and Sections 2-274 through 2-280, abolishing the Airport Board.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Oldham.
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross,
Yes.
Rowe is absent. Page,
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
So it's 6 yes and 2 absent.
The next one I have has to do with the extension of the tree service. And actually what it is the yard waste grinding that we utilize. That we mix with our sludge from the sewer, it becomes a great fertilizer, which we resell. And the contract that we had with Hanson Tree Service was actually for a possibility to extend it at 4 years. At that point, it would expire in 2021. And staff has recommended that we extend this contract with a price of $30,750.
Any council discussion, question? Read the ordinance, Arlene, please.
Bill number 2020-99, an ordinance approving a 1-year contract extension by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and Hanson's Tree, Lawn, and Landscaping Services, LLC, for yard waste grinding.
Second reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 2020-99, an ordinance approving a 1-year contract extension by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and Hanson's Tree, Lawn, and Landscaping Services, LLC, for yard waste grinding.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Dawson,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross,
Yes.
Rowe is absent. Page,
Yes.
Lehman,
Yes.
and Oldham.
Yes.
That's 6 yes and 2 absent.
Okay, the next item also has to do with trees again. And this is in regards to resource implement maintenance. It's called the Tree Grant. These funds help us in our initiative to be a Tree City USA and making good use of the trees to beautify our city. Over the years, these funds, which is roughly $10,000 a year, are utilized primarily to inventory our trees in public right of ways and parks and to facilitate better management of them. We recommend approval for resolution.
Council, any questions? Call for the resolution.
Resolution 1905, a resolution authorizing an application by the City of Sedalia, Missouri for a tree resource improvement and maintenance trim grant through the Missouri Department of Conservation to continue re-inventory of trees within public spaces.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We just read that one time.
One now? Okay. The next thing I have has to do with construction involving the streetscape project, which is our final one, I do believe. And we found that there was an incorrect trunk type in what we need to do as we're doing this project. And that added $2,277 to the project to bring it to the total of $1,011,740.
Any questions? Call for the resolution, the ordinance, please.
Bill number 2020-100, an ordinance approving and accepting change order number 1 by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Rad Baker Construction, LLC for the Streetscape Phase 4 project.
Second reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Opposed?
Bill number 2020-100, an ordinance approving and accepting change order number 1 by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Rad Baker Construction, LLC for the Streetscape Phase 4 project.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Nash,
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross, Rowe is absent. Page?
Yes.
Lehman?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
And Dawson?
Yes.
That's 6 yes and 2 absent.
Okay, my fifth item, I'm back to trees again, except this one's at the bottom of the ground. And this has to do with a contract we have with Duke's Root Control. We've been very satisfied with them. They've actually, 6 years ago, we went into a contract with them. And likewise, we're also, like we were the other contract earlier, we have choices to extend this. And the staff is recommending we extend this another year for the total of $25,071.60.
Any council question? Arlene, read the ordinance, please.
Bill number 2020-101, an ordinance approving and accepting a 1-year contract extension by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Duke's Root Control Incorporated for chemical root control application.
Second reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 2020-101, an ordinance approving and accepting a 1-year contract extension by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Duke's Root Control Incorporated for chemical root control application.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Bo is absent. Cross?
Yes.
Rowe is absent. Page?
Yes.
Lehman?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Dawson?
Yes.
Nash?
Yes.
So that's 6 yes and 2 absent.
Okay, the next item is professional services, and it deals with our Sedalia Rail Industrial Park Railroad Store. As some of you know, some of you don't know, it takes a grade, leveling or raising with regards to laying a railroad bed, and we need to get some more dirt filled in certain areas. And where that dirt comes from, because we are dealing with this federal grant, we have to make sure that there's nothing that's going to disturb historical or archaeological pieces of property out there. And we're asking to enter the contract, as we had done earlier, I'll remind you, we've already done this once for a different area, with Missouri State University Center for Archaeological Research within the business studies.
Any questions, council?
I was just wondering, this law about archaeologists, is that something that has just come about being passed, or has this always been?
It's part of the federal grant, really.
Yeah, it's a stipulation on the federal funds that we're using is they require they call it a Section 106 study, which means that basically it's the federal regulations on the use of federal funds is we've got to prove that we're not disturbing any historical significance.
Thanks, sir.
And by the way, that amount is $6,958.54.
Read the ordinance, Arlene.
Bill number 2020-102, an ordinance approving and accepting an agreement for professional services by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Missouri State University Center for Archaeological Research for professional services related to the Sedalia Rail Industrial Park Rail Spur Project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 2020-102, an ordinance approving and accepting an agreement for professional services by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Missouri State University Center for Archaeological Research professional services related to the Sedalia Rail Industrial Park Rail Spur Project.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Cross?
Yes.
Rowe is absent. Page?
Yes.
Lehman?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Dawson?
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
and Lowe is absent, so that's 6 yes and 2 absent.
Okay, my next item has to do with engineering inspection services. As you know, we're continuing with our water improvements. And during the course of this, as you remember, the last May 21st meeting, we did approve another contract for $2.4 million. And now we need to extend the contract for the inspections of that work. And we had a contract with engineering surveys and services to provide these services. It was designed to allow for additions as we go forward with these projects. Therefore, the staff is recommending now that we add this part to it in the amount of $122,920. And that's with engineering surveys and services.
Any questions from council? Arlene, read the ordinance, please.
Bill number 2020-103, an ordinance approving and accepting an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and Engineering Surveys and Services for 2018 Water System Improvements Contract Number 3 from 10th Street to 16th Street and from Grand Avenue to Engineer Avenue in the City of Sedalia, Missouri.
Second reading?
All in favor? Opposed?
Bill number 2020-103, an ordinance approving and accepting an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and Engineering Surveys and Services for 2018 Water System Improvements Contract Number 3 from 10th Street to 16th Street and from Grand Avenue to Engineer Avenue in the City of Sedalia, Missouri.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Rowe is absent. Page? Lehman?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Dawson?
Yes.
Nash?
Yes.
Lowe is absent. And Cross?
Yes.
6 yes and 2 absent.
Okay, my last point. This has to do with an agreement, the amount of $36,495 with our engineering. It has to do with permits that we get from DNR in regards to our discharge system for our sewer system. It requires a lot of work, expertise, and sampling that goes into the sampling process. We're recommending that our engineer be allowed to assist us with this. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, there's actually two ordinances. The one ordinance is to approve the contract or approve adding the scope of work to an existing contract. And then the next ordinance is a budget amendment. We are not increasing the total expenditures, but what we're doing is moving money out of capital expenditures and moving it to operating expenditures for this engineering services. So, net change to the bottom line, but does involve moving money that you appropriated for capital and moving it to operating. So we thought it was in the vein of full transparency, we thought it would be good to formally do that. The capital expenditures, we were able to bring a couple of things in under budget, so it's not really changing anything that we're going to purchase. It just moves unused funds from one line item to another. Be happy to entertain any questions.
Any questions from council? Arlene, read the ordinances.
Bill number 2020-104, an ordinance approving the First Amendment to the Master Services Agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Barr Engineering Company for the development of 3 national pollutant discharge elimination system permit applications for all 3 of the city's wastewater treatment facilities.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Bill number 2020-104, An ordinance approving the First Amendment to the Master Services Agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Barr Engineering Company for the development of 3 national pollutant discharge elimination system permit applications for all 3 of the city's wastewater treatment facilities.
Final passage.
Roll call, please.
Page?
Yes.
Lehman?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Dawson?
Yes.
Nash?
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross?
Yes.
And Rowe is absent, so that's 6 yes and 2 absent.
Your Honor, that's all I have this time.
We have
We have
another.
another
We have
ordinance.
another ordinance.
Arlene's going to read that now.
Right. Bill number 2020-105, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2020-2021 regarding National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, NPDES application development.
Second reading.
All in favor? Opposed?
Bill number 2020-105, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2020-2021 regarding National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, that's NPDES, application development.
Final passage.
Roll call, please.
Lehman,
Yes.
Oldham,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross,
Yes.
Rowe is absent, and Page.
Jeff, I do think that was, I think that was a council record today for the City of Missouri. Community Development Chairman Andrew Dawson.
First, if you remember at the last city council meeting, we accepted the selection committee's recommendation of Callison Associates to do the city branding. After a couple rounds of negotiations, a contract was hammered out, and that's what this ordinance is just accepting the improving the contract agreement between the City of Sedalia and Callison Associates.
Any council discussion? Arlene, read the ordinance, please.
Bill number 2020-106, an ordinance approving and accepting a branding contract agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Callison Associates Incorporated for professional services.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 2020-106, an ordinance approving and accepting a branding contract agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Callison Associates Incorporated for professional services.
Final passage.
Roll call, please.
Oldham,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross,
Yes.
Rowe is absent. Page,
Yes.
and Lehman.
Yes.
6 yes and 2 absent.
Up next, we have a ordinance approving the assistance and grant agreement for the preservation grant for Victorian Towers District. So if you remember some time ago, we passed, I believe, the ordinance directing Ray Ann Spears, downtown planner, to go ahead and apply for this grant from Missouri Department of Natural Resources in order to do an architectural survey of 400 structures that exist within that district. We were awarded that grant, and so this is that ordinance just accepting that grant. You have anything else you want to add, John?
No, Rand is going to be here tonight to present and refresh your memory of what the grant achieves and what it does in the process of creating a historic district. She'll do that at a later date, but Rand did an outstanding job in bringing that grant to Sedalia.
I guess I would add too that this is kind of the first step to pave the way for residents within that district to utilize tax credits to do historic preservation, but it doesn't require them to. So it doesn't restrict anybody's use of their property, but it does pave the way if they want to use tax credits to do historic preservation.
Any other council questions? Read the ordinance, please.
Bill number 2020-107, an ordinance approving and accepting a historic preservation grant and financial assistance agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and Missouri Department of Natural Resources for the Victorian Towers District Survey.
Second reading.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 2020-107, an ordinance approving and accepting a historic preservation grant and financial assistance agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and Missouri Department of Natural Resources for the Victorian Towers District Survey.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Dawson? Nash?
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross?
Yes.
Rowe is absent. Page?
Yes.
Lehman?
Yes.
And Oldham?
Yes.
That's 6 yes and 2 absent.
Chairman Thomas Olam, Public Safety.
We only have one item for public safety, and the review is just a little bit of restructuring. In the review of the Animal Service Department, we kind of felt that the function and operations of the Animal Service Department fit more appropriately under public safety and finance administration. So this is just moving the animal shelter of the Animal Service Department from the Finance and Administration Committee to the Public Safety Committee.
Any council discussion? Read the ordinance, please, Arlene.
Bill number 2020-108, an ordinance amending section 2-72 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, relating to City Council departmental committees.
Second reading.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Bill number 2020-108, an ordinance amending section 2-72 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, relating to City Council departmental committees.
Roll call, please.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, Nash?
Yes.
Lowe is absent. Cross? Rowe is absent. Page?
Yes.
Lehman?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
And Dawson.
Yes.
So that's 6 yes and 2 absent.
Liquor licenses, Arlene.
Okay, we have 1 renewal license and 3 renewals this evening. The new license is for Sherry Beltran, doing business as Boys and Girls Club of West Central Missouri at 3100 Aaron Avenue. It's a temporary event license for casino night, July 23rd at the venue. The renewal licenses are for Justin Reith, doing business as Woods Supermarket at 701 East Broadway for packaged liquor and Sunday sales. Stephen Swafford, doing business as Grellner Sales and Service at 1510 West Henry for wholesale beer. And Cynthia Lynn Fosno, doing business as Jiffy Stop Food Mart, number 591 at 1722 West Broadway Boulevard for packaged liquor and Sunday sales.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Miscellaneous items from the mayor, city council, and city minister.
I have a few things. Good luck to everyone on ballot tomorrow, especially Stephen.
I think he vote for himself.
I heard that was going to be a close race.
First ward seems to be a tough tough word to run in since I had it last year.
And then the second thing is the Hyper Community Center groundbreaking is next Thursday, the 11th at 5:30.
At the top.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to take this time to commend our citizens of this city as we go forward with the tragedy that's happened in Minnesota. The protests that we've had here are understandable. I'd also like to thank our police department for the restraint and how they handled this situation. But especially to the citizens, I think the citizens today really need to be commended for their actions and the way they handled this particular situation. That's the deal. Amen.
Well said, Bill. Anybody else would like to make a comment? This is Bonita's last full meeting.
Yes, it is.
It's been a pleasure working with Bonita.
Yes.
She keeps,
You'll go up for greater things now
she truly keeps us under control.
for state or federal positions.
I think you said something about an easy chair.
Thank you.
And this is also Tally's, he's not here, we can't harass him, but this is his last full scheduled meeting.
Bonita, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you.
Make sure you go. You gotta do what you gotta do.
He just saying.
Yes.
Is that your phone number?
No, that's not my fault.
Any other comments?
I would just
Anybody
like to
from-
say that it's been a pleasure working with all of you. But it won't be my last because I'll be here watching.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be out in the audience.
Your evil eyes, I can see that, yeah, oh, great. Keep us on our toes, will you? Yeah.
You gonna miss us.
I will miss you, but I'll be out there.
Anybody from the audience like to participate tonight? Do we have anybody on the phone?
Anybody on the phone that would care to make a comment during good and welfare?
So we need a motion to adjourn to go into closed door session.
Your Honor, I make a motion that we go to closed door session hearing no. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you all.
Well, really good luck to you too.
This is going to be a historic closed door meeting tonight, Claudia.